This is a great move. This is a wonderful move. I've got two things, and then I've got a rapid fire question for you. Harbaugh versus Kyle. You have to give me your first gut reaction. But first, the Christian McCaffrey stuff. Listen, how is this not a wonderful move? Think about it. You're in the NFC. You're in the minor league of the conferences right now. You don't have to deal with Kansas City. You don't have to deal with the Bills. You don't have to deal with San Diego. Who's, by the way, talk about coaches over their head. That San Diego Chargers team should be undefeated with the amount of talent they have.
San Diego?
San Diego. The Chargers, I mean, think about it. The amount of money they spent. Huh?
I think they play in LA.
They did right. Oh, you're right. LA. You're
San
right.
Diego?
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
They'll always be the San Diego, as the Rams will always be St. Louis to me.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
This is a great move in a conference. Frankly, in the next 1 or 2 years, I'm assuming Tom Brady's done after this year, and I'm assuming that the Bucs will go back to being a dumpster fire. I'm assuming that the Rams QB has 1 or 2 years left. I'm assuming, maybe. I'm assuming the Packers have 1 to 2 years. That guy's got 1 to 2 years left, right? All that is said, outside of Jalen Hurts, what do you got in the NFC that's going to be scary to the 49ers? I'm asking you. So
I thought you said Jalen Hurd for a second. I was like, Jalen Hurd? What happened to him? No, Jalen Hurts, right. Yeah, no, you're right.
So outside of that, go ahead. Go. This is an okay move based off the 49ers assessing what's in the NFC and what they have to go through, that they could take a year off in the draft, which frankly is hit or miss by them. And frankly, they toilet their first round picks anyway. Out of all of them, you've got 2 or 3 starters. Out of all of the first draft, first round, second round misses, they are the only team I've ever seen to nail 3rd, 4th, 5th. It's what's kept them afloat. So to me, this is a good move based off of what they have assessed their environment as. It's a good move. Did they give too much? Yeah, but guess what? They already made that sin when they traded for Trey Lance, who probably would have been there at 12 or 13 anyway. Looking back,
it's good. Why? What does it make the offense better?
Yes. You know why? Because I believe Kyle is trying to force the cheat code that is Deebo Samuel. And I think last year it came very naturally to him. And I think this year he's pressing a little bit with Deebo and trying to get lightning in a bottle. Now that you have, because I think you said it earlier, Kyle's offense is based on you making a mistake.
Yes.
Now he has one more chess piece where he can force the defense to make a mistake. I don't think the offense is going to change, but I think you're going to see that now defenses are going to be like, all right, who are we guarding on 3rd and 5, Deebo or McCaffrey? Oh, Kittle's open. Great. I think it's going to be a byproduct of that. I don't think stats will change, but I think you're going to get more mistakes. And I think that's what Kyle's
You think their third down offense will improve? Okay, they've been in their losses. They've been bad on 3rd down.
They don't even hit 20-30% in their offense, and that's the one thing Jimmy has always been historically good at, is bailing Kyle out of his predictable, running on 1st down, running on 2nd down, and 3rd down essentially quick, short, intermediate passes. And if they can get that going, they typically go well because they capitalize on the defense not being there correctly, and that's where you get the long runs. That's where you get all that stuff where it's the defense making a mistake. And I think the defense are just lining up now, ignoring the coverages, but now they're going to have to account for another person.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So to me, indirectly, it'll help. Now, I had fun with this. You got to give me your first gut reaction. Ready? Better coach in lieu of Harbaugh coming back. Kyle or John?
Jim.
Oh, Jim. Sorry,
Jim. Although neither one's won a championship, but I would have to say Jim. He at least keeps his players healthy. He has more. Jim doesn't have down seasons. From San Diego to Stanford to the Niners to Michigan, there is a consistency that he never wins the whole thing, which is not good. And I'm not saying bring him back to be the head coach, but there's a consistency that he has as a head coach.
I completely agree. Better play caller, Greg Roman or Kyle Shanahan?
Kyle. Greg has no concept of the passing game. And Kyle doesn't have a great one either, but Greg has no concept of the play action. Kyle. Greg's terrible.
No, and Greg's terrible. I feel like Greg never evolved. He never. No, it was always the same thing.
He's terrible.
Right? Yeah. There's a reson why Baltimore's in the predicament.
Super gimmicky. Super gimmicky. Yep.
Yeah. Better defense.
Fangio. I mean, now, Fangio. Maybe he didn't have as much talent. He had a lot of talent. But, I mean, Fangio not only was the best defensive coach, he was the better coach than Harbaugh, and now he is the trendsetter. Like, it used to be Pete Carroll. Now it's him. I mean, he's the best defensive coach they've had since Seifert. But that's not what you're asking.
No. Well, I think he was great because I think he kept things simple. And I think defense, you have to keep things simple and let your athletes play. And I think Fangio put players where they didn't really have to think. They just had to react.
One more. I got to take more calls.
All right. Jimmy versus Cap. Better quarterback.
That's a hard one. Cap had some really good. Cap had some really good performances in the playoffs. Cap never got better. Jimmy never got better. Man, they're so different. I'll take the guy who can move over the guy who can't. That's just a preference, though. I think they're pretty similar.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Karan,
I'll talk to you later.
good stuff, man. Good to see you.